There was an error updating your room.
What?
Creating live broadcast. You can view and comment. Let me check my phone.
Oh, cool.
Happening now. Live comments. Are we there?
We're here.
Hi.
Hi.
I can see you. I can see me, but on the phone, it's not showing.
I wonder if it's just like a little delay.
Yeah, it could be.
Because it says live, so I think it's happening.
All right, we're live. Yay!
It says it on my thing anyways.
It says 2 people here, so that's you and me.
Sold out. Full house.
Hold on, let me write. Hi, Emily. There we go.
I don't see it yet. Interesting.
Oh, really? I just put it on the live comments. Alrighty. So I don't know, something's different because last time I was able to close the room so nobody else would come in, but now it's still showing up as join the room, so I don't know. And I don't see anyone else here, but that's okay.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm so good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
I just finished breakfast. I'm 3 hours ahead of you, so I know that it's probably more like after lunch for you.
Yeah, I just finished lunch and I had to go set Peter up and tell him that I was, in a meeting. And he's like, okay, mommy. Okay, close this. All right, well, it seems like we're live.
Cool.
It says live, but I don't see it on here, so I don't know what's going on with that. All right. You don't see it either?
No.
Oh, here we are. We're live. Look.
Oh, okay. We're going to be exciting now.
I see your hi.
Yay!
Oh, that's funny. I see your hi, but I don't see my hi.
Right. Yeah, I didn't see yours either. Oh, well.
All right, now it can be lively.
Yeah. So I think, did you already do a grounding exercise before we began?
Yes, but I'm open to doing it again.
I did it too, so I think
that
is perfect. I think that we should start by sharing our sort of like awakening coming out stories.
Ooh, yes, that feels really good.
Yeah.
So everybody, if you don't know, this is the beautiful and wonderful mermaid, Emily. Wonderful sound healing. Go ahead, sorry.
Yes, sound healer. I do chakra toning. Anyone who's seeing this is welcome to direct message me to set up a session.
We'll put it on the comments as well. When we,
yeah.
You can put it now if you want.
I can do it. I'll do it later.
Yeah.
So you start. You tell yours, and then I'll tell mine.
Okay. Well, Emily and I met back in the fall in Alice's group, The Metamorphosis, and it has been really, really amazing seeing her grow and seeing her change in front of my eyes. I mean, this is, I think, one of the greatest benefits of being in a container, because you get to make those connections and you get to start to see the growth and the differences that even we cannot see in ourselves. So a lot of times, that person who is there reflecting and watching you grow and watching you change, that is the confirmation that we usually need as humans in this three-dimensional world, to be able to see what's going on and to be able to have that reassurance of something is actually really happening, that is, like leaps ahead of what we're able to encompass or like maintain in our own heads, right?
Yes, and witness in ourselves, like having it, yeah, having the friends all around you mirroring what is going on that is such a huge part of it. The
Yeah,
people
I mean,
are my friends forever. It's like, it's so beautiful the way that was. I never expected it to be like that level of bonding, and then it completely was.
yeah, it's really reassurance, and it's just, it feels like, I mean, we've talked about this before, like feeling like we finally found our family, like an actual family, because we're able to talk about these things that we feel, that we're growing within, and there's somebody that we can talk to, that we feel safe, and then we are received for who we truly are, as opposed to talking to someone who's not open to it yet, such as our families, perhaps. I know that's with my family. And then you just say something, and then you just get shut down as like, you're imagining, or it's not true, or it's not possible. And then all of your doubts come back again, right? And then that's where we maintain ourselves in these little boxes.
Yeah, and especially in this time, I think that we're all being called to very carefully curate our soul tribe and surround ourselves with energy that is supportive to our growth and our truth. So being able to find people that support you and are encouraging you, especially groups of women, not trying to exclude anyone, but just being around loving, supportive women who really have your best interest at heart feels so beautiful and rare. But it seems like it's becoming more of a thing because of, I mean, the weird blessing that was COVID, and then suddenly we're finding our tribes all over the world, which is, to me, the most beautiful thing I've ever experienced with technology.
Definitely. I mean, I feel so much more connected now than I did before COVID, right? And I haven't gone anywhere.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. And also, I was just talking with somebody else earlier this morning about how last year a lot of people came into their own knowing and their own awakening, and how quickly and fast we made leaps, into becoming who we truly are, and connecting in a way that, it had taken years before to reach the point that we have. And now this year, I'm seeing it with my clients, like they're moving even faster than we did last year. Have you seen that
Yeah.
as well?
Yes, absolutely. It's like things are speeding up exponentially.
Yeah. So I'm definitely seeing that, like in my clients when I'm working with them, and I'm seeing the the result like so much faster, and they're getting where I am, or where I got, much faster than when I did. And so it just seems like this wave of new awakened healers from last year who are aiding the new wave this year is just going faster. And then that's going to just get faster and faster with the new wave of healers coming out, and healing, and coming into their truth, and then going on to help the next generation, so to speak, right, of the next
Yeah.
wave that's waking up. Yeah.
People are actually really taking it seriously. Like, if how I live my life every day, how I make my money, my career, if it's not lined up to my purpose, you can't go through the motions anymore. It's too strong to not be in alignment with your purpose. Is like the way that it
Yeah.
feels to me.
I had this kind of like epiphany, or like, like a thought or feel like this past couple of days, about how a lot of us who, like, when COVID hit, we just started like going within and within, and finding about more ourselves, and going through this awakening. And then also noticing a lot of other people who didn't, who just kept going and kept going and kept going. And then what happened? That something really big happened to make them stop. Have you noticed that? Like people that around?
Myself included, because I started the metamorphosis. That was a huge part of it. when it was actually, I think it was just barely after quarantine. But what really, I think catapulted me into my like full awakening was I got the flu, and like it took me out for 3 solid weeks where I basically went into a cocoon, hardly got out of bed, hardly had any energy, and I just like meditated,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt like I was like, it was like a force up level. You know, I felt like that's when I got all of these downloads and messages about Egypt, which has always been in my field. I wanted to be an Egyptologist when I was a child. I had a blow up sarcophagus in the corner of my room and like
Oh my gosh.
papyrus everywhere. Like, I was obsessed with Egypt from when I was very, very little. We had every Egypt book. But during that time, I had all of these really knowing epiphanies where I was like, oh, um, the ancient Egyptians were using sound. Pyramids, I've always known, were not tombs, but I had
Mm-hmm.
a very, very real knowing that pyramids and those quartz baths that they found, that they never, like those empty sarcophaguses that they found, that nobody ever really knew what they were used for, they were doing sound baths. And I was like, this is my work, this is my calling. But I think that it really was the me getting wicked sick and not going to work, where I realized like I don't want to do this job. As much as I love the people and as much as I love it, it's not what I'm supposed to be doing anymore. And it just became so loud and clear.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. And I got the chills when you were talking about the sound bath in the pyramids and the, you know, all of that. I just got the chills of that, like as confirmation. Um, yeah. If you have not experienced Emily's sound baths, you need to. She is live every week on Breathe to Succeed, and you can also book with her. So I've gotten to experience that in my group, in the automatic writing, the angelic automatic writing, which happens tomorrow. Tomorrow is our meeting day. So if you want to join, you can still join that. But yeah, it's pretty amazing. I can actually feel the waves vibrating throughout my entire body. It's very
Yeah.
powerful.
Well, and that was sort of our topic of the day is frequency, which
Yes.
plays very much into my work, but also plays very much into your work. And you should talk a little bit about your dream weaving school because
Oh my
that's
gosh.
exciting.
Yes, so my dream weaving school, as you guys know,
Love the
most of you
name,
know.
the name
What?
Dream Weaving School. Dream Weaving School. It's just like such a powerful, beautiful name. I love it.
Well, I had a session with Andrea, and she's the one who told me I was a dream weaver. So this is where like pretty much came, and then Jocelyn was like, you know, I'm getting this dream weaving school, and I really wanted to call it Dream Weaving University, uh, but it didn't flow as well. The words didn't flow, but it really is a university because that's the level of
Higher learning.
expansion, yes, that you actually receive. And so Claudia is she's pretty much exiting it now, and I just posted one of her sentences on my thing as a testimonial. She's writing me this testimonial now, but she has, like, on week 4 she was able to connect with, you know, past relatives, which week 4.
Yeah.
So
Incredible.
that's what I'm talking about. Like, it took me so much longer to get there, but like, and she came from like, oh, I wish I could do what you could, and not knowing anything and never doing anything according to her knowing. And so yeah, this is pretty much, it's really, really fast. And we're starting about next week, the 26th. I guess it's in a week and a couple of days. But it's an open container, so people can come in between,
And
kind of like the, yeah, yeah.
the
So
metamorphosis
that's,
beginning of Elise Basine. Yes. Definitely want to
yeah.
give a shout out to her because she's like our guru from from the
Yeah,
very
she's definitely my initiator.
same. Actually, even way before that, in our 20s when we knew each other in Tucson, she was like the one who was like talking about energy work and really opened my eyes to exploring the metaphysical in a way that I had never thought to do. And that was really exciting. That was definitely around the time of listening to CDs in your car. So I was listening to a lot of like Esther Hicks and the Law of Attraction, and just
I
really
just posted something on Esther Hicks this morning. It was so good. You have to hear it.
Yeah, it's powerful material. I mean, it definitely, and at the time it was very, I feel like more people know about it now, but at the time it was a very new way of thinking, like, oh, our thoughts are important, like our thoughts are magnets.
He was all over the place. Yeah,
I better pay attention to what I'm thinking. That was like a new concept, and life changing.
Definitely. And that was kind of like a huge introduction, I feel, to a lot of the world, including myself, obviously. But back then, I didn't know what to do with it. Right? It's kind of like follow this, read the book, and like do these things. But I didn't really understand. It didn't seep into me the way that it did now. I think like this is the moment. This is the time to expand.
Same. And a lot of it, she talked about was about doing really long periods of meditation. And I remember trying to do that then. And it was tough. Just even for 5 minutes, like quieting my mind and trying to do that. I'm like, how on earth is she doing this for hours? It's gotten easier.
Yes.
Gotten into, actually my meditation has gotten easier since I discovered breath work, because like that is a way for me to focus my mind on my breathing. And then I've added in my sound toning to my meditation. So I'm inhaling and then I'm exhaling on a tone that my body's calling for. And that is, it's like doing Om or any sort of mantra. It's very quieting to the mind. And I think that's the trickiest part of meditation, is just not thinking those thoughts, or like allowing the thoughts to come, but then like letting them go away. And when you're doing a sound, a breath, a tone, it's like you're basically shifting your frequency physically in the body.
I love the way that you explained that, because I mean, I have gone to like Buddhist temples and done the Om and, with a group and stuff. But the explanation, like the way that you're just explaining it, it just makes so much more sense as to like, I think we really need to sometimes understand what we're doing in order to integrate, right? So I really love the way you're mentioning that. If you're here, please say hi so we can say hi back.
Oh, wait, who's someone saying hi? I don't see it, but yay!
Yay!
Awesome.
We're cheering you on, whomever you are. Thank you for being here.
We have a visitor. Say hi if you feel like it. Yeah. So I definitely think that having the mantra and repetition is a really good way to sort of get into that zone. And it's funny, on my live the other day, I read an excerpt from Barbara Marciniak's Earth, and basically she says that toning and Om and mantra and even breath is a way where we are bypassing the ego. So it's a way that we can basically shift our frequency in our bodies, and then that repetition almost becomes the frequency. Because what is frequency? It's any sort of anything. Like it could be a sound wave, but it's basically a repetition. So if you're actually physically doing the repetition almost in two ways, by saying the sound over and over again, but also by the repetition of your voice vibration, you're shifting your entire being. And basically you're able to tap into those things that are suppressed by the ego.
I love that. Yeah. That's one of the things, like in my work, I also do like raising the frequency, from the ego, right? Like those lower frequencies, those are the voices that are telling us we can't, or envy, or all of those things. Those are the low frequencies. And I noticed that if I just by holding a note, you can raise your frequency. And this is what they always say, just just sing, because singing, when you're singing, you're happy, and then that's a high frequency, and then you're raising your own frequency just by doing that, just by singing. This is why singing is so healing.
Yeah, and it's also why joining voices together in large groups, which is, I mean, it's funny because that was literally one of the things that was super suppressed during all of this, is like, you know, getting in together in groups. And they said that, you know, singing was a super spreader, which is like, it's a very, very powerful method of becoming one with others, is like sharing the voice and singing. It's something that has been long forgotten. We don't get together in groups and sing anymore. And that used to be a thing in culture that, you know, singing and dancing in large groups was everything. I mean, it was such a huge part of culture. And with that taken away, it really does create more separateness.
Emily, are you doing any group singings in your group?
I haven't really done that yet, but I
okay, because I just got that visual. I just got
yeah.
You were talking about that, and I just got that visual of you holding a group, you know, like within a group. Perhaps it's through Zoom so everybody can hear each other, and just everybody singing in unison. I guess you could do it like a room like this. I just got that this is what, you know, that's something
I love that. Yes,
cool.
I definitely sing with my clients in our sessions. When
I can't wait for our session.
I know, me too. I'm so excited. And I have a 10-week program called Sounds of Ascension, where you work with me for 10 weeks. And like through that, a lot of times people will sort of come up with their own mantras and their own songs. A client of mine just like came up with her own heart chakra opener with like words, and like the music just, she channeled it. And it's absolutely incredible what comes from doing this long term, you know, for more than just one session too. Like continuing it on your own, like more and more evolves from it. So I love you, Emma. Thank you for watching us. Emma's
there? Oh.
Emma. Yes.
I don't see Emma.
No pressure, Emma. You don't have to watch the whole thing, but it's very nice to have you here.
Yay! That feels, yeah, that is definitely feeling really aligned. The fact of working together, you know, for a long period of time with someone that can show you the way, that's really lifts you up, right? Because a lot of times, like for example, me, like before all of this, I used to go to, you know, healers and psychics and tarot readers, and I would be just like one thing, and it's like so excited, I got this information, and then it's like, now what?
What do I do with this? Yeah.
Right? And then from there you can get some guidance, you know, whatever you received, but then you're kind of like left like lost. Like what else is there to do, or where do I go from here? And so all of these other questions happen, and it's kind of like a crescendo, right? You get up to this frequency, and then you just don't know what to do. So working with someone for a long period of time, like you're saying in your container, that you can do that, and then you're like, okay, and then you get more support, like, okay, this is the next step. It's like, oh, okay, and then it opens it up, and then you get another one. It's like, oh my goodness, like that's where I'm going. And then that kind of teaches you as well how to move, you know, through the phases, and how to move through your own growing, as opposed to just being left there like, okay, like I'm not sure what I should do, right?
Exactly. Well, and I think that that's the true work of being a healer, is you really don't want whoever you're working with to forever rely on you solely. You hold the space, but it is all about them healing themselves. So you provide the tools, you're holding the space for them, you're offering the support, the love, the guidance, and you can definitely give your tips. You know, learning the tones is what I teach, because it's not easy. And it takes practice, just like anything, just like any practice. But once you have that down and like can feel what they feel like and the differences in the body, I'm obviously hoping that you'll do it on your own, because that's when the real growth is going to begin, is when you own it, you know, use that sovereignty, and you heal yourself. Because healers are just there to basically support you in your own healing.
Yes, I love that. That's just so true to my heart. Just empowering others to grab the tools, show them how to use them, and then go fly. Kind of like Elise did with us, right?
Yes, exactly. And that is the world right now. What is I think what's really been missing is that there's been this thing of like knowledge hoarding and information hoarding, and not, feeling like if you share your gift, other people will take it over. And that's not what it's about. Like the more we share our gifts, the more it's going to help everyone, help the collective. It's going to do nothing but just, explode exponentially. So the more the merrier, the more people we can help awaken, the more people we can help heal, the more we're helping ourselves, because we are ultimately all
Yeah, I
one.
think that I think that comes a lot from like that scarcity mentality, like there's not enough, right? Oh, there's not enough people that I can help. So if I help this one go away, then I'm gonna have one less. When in reality, it's the other way around. It's like the
Totally.
more I empower and the more I allow and give other people to the tools so that they can work, then the more they expand, and then the more they expand, like that as well. Emma's just sending me a picture and saying that this is being weird. Look at us.
Oh God.
Well, that's because we're aliens, actually.
Yeah. Oh no. Our powers are morphing.
Oh my gosh, Emma, thank you for that. That's so funny. Well, yesterday Emma was on with Elise, and I had it on my calendar, and I was waiting for the notification. It never came up. Like the whole day, I
Yes.
was looking. Yep, it never showed up. And
Anyone who's
yeah,
watching this, I want to give a shout out to Emma too, because she does tarot readings on Elise's Breathe to Succeed weekly, and they are so, oh my gosh, she's so gifted, so spot on, powerful, and like the way that she interprets it is just always so poignant. And
did you
I
see her live yesterday about the portraits, the soul portraits?
no, but I have it I want to rewatch it. I was
Oh
in
my gosh, you
Tucson with,
have to.
yeah, I'm going to. Yeah, I didn't even know she did that. So cool.
I know, me neither. So it's pretty amazing because she can actually make a portrait of your spirit guides.
Yeah.
And so and she's got her website, so you guys want to check her out, go ahead. And I'm going to like share this because I don't remember I told you like a while back I was like sleeping and I woke up and there was like all these faces on my ceiling. Remember that? I told you that?
Yeah.
And,
Yes.
okay, and there was this one gentleman that was like really like in my face, like I could really see his face. And well, I got the message that it was for Emma, so I told her and I gave her the message. And then on her website, that's the first picture that she has, and I saw it, and I was like, and I texted her, I was like, Emma, that first picture there, and she just laughed, and she's like, oh my gosh, I know you're going to catch on that. That's the guy. So that's the guy that I saw that now channeled through her as a spirit guide for her, and she's got the portrait. I mean,
Oh, that's amazing.
how amazing is this? Like, yes, this is how we're all connected, right?
Mind, and then you saw it on her website next.
I saw it, like it appeared, right? Like I knew it was a past life entity. I knew that's what it was. It was like my room was full of them, but this one like stood out. And then I received the message, and I was like, "This is for Emma." Then I gave Emma the message, and then I said, "Okay, he's saying that and that you need to go explore on it." And apparently she did. And then
Wow.
he came through for her in her drawing, and when I saw it, I was like, that's the guy. That's the
Amazing.
face I saw. Like,
oh my
yeah.
God, I cannot watch that. Emma's group, you all who are watching this, is called Walking Between Worlds too. So join that if you're called. It's amazing. My group is called Claire Vocal. If anyone is watching that is not part of my group, I'd love you to be there. I'm guessing everyone's already on your group because that's where we're podcasting from. I wonder if we still look like aliens. Oh well.
I don't know. But I started. I sorry about that. I hear my son screaming downstairs, so I don't know what he's doing. Hopefully, he's okay.
Yeah.
He tends to be very dramatic at this time. My goodness. Yeah. So, what else? So you have your 10-week container, and you also work like one-on-one, like to tone the chakras. I'm very excited about this. You guys, I
Yes.
have my appointment set up. It's not happening yet, but like it's on the books. So I'm very excited to do that and to connect.
And I get to do my session with you tomorrow, don't I?
Yes, yes. That's my light language. Yes,
I'm
it's going to be
excited.
awesome.
There
Light
has been
language
a
has been
lot about light language for me and for others. I think it's another one of those important pieces for us to embrace.
it's so connected to the voice and the frequency, right? Which is what we're talking about here. So I really have this like strong feeling how this is going to, like for you tomorrow, it's going to like do something. And then for me, when I have it with you, it's going to also like, I don't know, like an upgrade, right? Like tuning it.
100%. And there's something to do with light language and movement too. I feel like it's like all of the pieces are coming together. I was watching someone channel light language, and she was doing all of these like different hand movements. And I've always like spoken that way. I like love to use my hands when I'm talking, and like
yeah. And you're not Italian, right?
no. Not at all. Yeah, so I feel like it's just all different things are coming together, and just the fact that I've seen a lot of art lately that has
light language.
Your Mala had the light language on it. A friend of mine, her name is Coral. She's a very talented artist. She just recently did this very cool cat, because you know how you were like seeing those cat beings. It was like a cat art, and then it had all of this light language around it. Really, really.
Emma's got a cat portrait on her website. I have to find out more about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, cats are definitely portals to other dimensions. That's for sure. I mean, it's why they were so worshipped in Egypt. Everything goes back to Egypt for me.
I have to show you. I'm gonna get up here for a second. I need to show you my bracelet, and I just cleared my drawer. I have to show you guys, everybody who's here. I am not advertising for Target, but you see this bag? Okay, you see in here? This is all junk that I got out of my little drawer that I was cleaning yesterday. Like, you know that drawer that everybody has that has like everything in it, right? So I was like cleaning out and just throwing things out. All right, look. Ta-da!
Ooh. Oh, wow. It looks like it's from Bali.
It looks like it's from where?
Bali.
Bali. Okay, I have no idea. But see, I thought it was like from Mexico or something, like Aztec.
It's beautiful.
However, I had a reading by somebody who talked to me, and she said, oh, about the Egyptian bracelet. I'm like, what? No, I don't have any Egyptian anything. And she's like, no, it's a cuff. It's like a big cuff. And then she described this, and I'm like, really? That's Egyptian? So I don't know. I don't know where it came from, but she actually saw this and described this, and I never wear it because, you know, it's a little difficult to put on. But how amazing is that?
Yeah.
Well, I had to show it to you because of your connection with Egypt and all that. So
I'm obsessed with jewelry.
Me too. Oh my gosh. It's really funny because at 11 o'clock, I got a thing that said live with Emily. And I'm like, 11? I'm like, I thought it was 1. And I was like, all like in a panic. And no, it was 1.
Wow. And I was still asleep.
It would not have been good.
Yeah. I think that we might want to wrap it up because I think that it's still distorted. It looks quite.
Oh yeah, on my side it looks good. Look.
Is it okay? Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Good.
But we can wrap it up.
Oh no.
I can go.
If it's working, that's fine.
How's it looking for you, Emma? I think she's still here. Yeah, it's very delayed. Like I'm just seeing myself hold the phone up for you. That's really funny. Things happening slowly. Yeah, well, if anybody wants to contact either one of us, Emily is going to put her website there. It is Clairvoyant. Clairvocal. Yes, I was like, it's not clairvoyance.
I'll put a link in the comments too.
Yeah, and so that's her Facebook private group, and she also has. You're gonna put a link for people to book with you.
Yes,
if they want. Okay.
Then you can always. I need dupes, and you can always direct message me too.
Yeah. And Emily is in our Angelic Automatic Writing group. So if you want to join that as well, we're having our first one for June tomorrow. Are you going to be there? I'm not sure.
I'll be there. Okay. Yeah. I really recommend this to everyone. It is so powerful. And something about being, again, in a group when we all call in our guides and then do that, it seems like the messages always line up. And it just feels like it's incredibly powerful when we're doing it at the same time.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to you opening up in your group a singing session for I'm just seeing it. I'm hearing it. So I'm looking forward to that. It's already happening. Not to put you on the spot, but it's happening.
Really, even when you're just singing whatever is coming out, it's so healing. It really is. And you do not have to be a good singer. Like good, I'm just saying like traditionally, even if people have told you that you can't sing, don't listen. Everybody can sing and everybody should. So that's my...
Emily, I am so glad you pointed that out. And I think you should expand a little bit more on that because I specifically heard from my mandala class, people tell me I'm a terrible artist or I can't do that type of stuff. And they didn't even try it because of that, because of the way they see themselves. And now that you mention it, I'm thinking like, yeah, we really need to speak up about this, about how these are really, really safe containers and safe places to be and to try these things out. And that you don't have to be like, a master at what you're trying, right? That's the reason you're going there. You're going there to try it out and to expand in a loving space and container. So yeah, I'm so glad that you mentioned that. If you want to expand a little on that, if you want.
Yeah,
it's so
absolutely.
important.
A lot of people who are attracted to my work have a thing with mermaids, the ocean, and which is funny because I live in the deep desert, but I have also Egypt and mermaids. Those are my two jams. And so, the association with mermaids is using the voice, the siren, calling in. And, it's interesting because over time, the patriarchy has given it a very negative connotation, like, oh, these women luring the sailors in with their voices so that they can drown them. But really, it is, that was just a suppression of women using their singing voices and joining them together to, lift the collective. And to really, when you join your voices together in song and prayer, in words, when you're speaking, verses, reading poetry all together, there's a very, very powerful vibrational occurrency that happens, and it almost can't be. It definitely can't be quantified, but the power of the voice, and especially the singing voice, is a gift that every single person has. You do not need to think that you are a good singer in any way to do this work. Every person's vocal cords and bodies are perfectly designed to heal themselves. The way that they're set up, this is your acoustical system. Your body is your instrument, and the way that you move air through and out the vocal cords is perfect for you. So like you don't need to worry about if it sounds good to the masses. We're not trying to sell albums here. We're trying to heal our bodies. And really the work that I do, especially with the chakra toning, I love singing too, but the toning is not singing. It's making primordial tones, which to the earth ear, some of them sound attractive, and then some of them, I just did the root chakra yesterday, sounds pretty weird. And the upper chakra sound pretty weird too, because the third eye is like very high and alien sounding. I love it, but it's not like you wouldn't be like, ooh, what is that person singing that song? I mean, you'd be like, wow, what frequency is that's coming out of the lady's mouth? So my point is that you do not need to be a good singer at all to do the toning. Just as you do not need to think that you're a professional good artist to experience the joy of creating through pain, through making your own. I mean, that's an expression just like anything, and it doesn't need to be anything other than the joy of its creation. It doesn't need to be looking like as good as Valeria's. It's not going to. Valeria's a professional artist, so
it'll probably look even better if Emma's doing it. Emma's amazing. I just had this visual of way back me singing at a choir at a church, and I think I did this like 2 or 3 times because I don't know, something with the timing. And I remember just like singing and like feeling so much joy and being so connected to spirit, which obviously I didn't realize that's what was happening back then. That it was just like, it just felt like it was just me singing instead of a group in front of people. And then I had people comment and say, oh, you were like glowing in there. And I think that's the whole connection, right? So when we're making the noises, the vibrations, the energy that's flowing through our bodies, and we are in alignment with ourselves, then it's perfect, right?
Yes.
And
you're opening that channel. It is a completely different channel that's being opened in a way that can only be opened using the voice, using that way to like shift your entire body's vibration.
Right. And then with that vibration, you just connect to your higher self, to divine light, to whatever it is that you believe in. And it is in that connection that you're healing, right? So, I do feel that that's
really
needed.
have to think about it. Like it's not, I mean, you're not in a mental space. Like you're just, that's all there is the voice. And hi, Crystal. Beautiful girl.
Yay! Hi, Crystal! Yay!
Everywhere I see her, I'm like, she's like so cute.
Oh my gosh, I love Crystal.
Yes, I do too. I need to work.
Her energy is like boom, right?
Yeah. And like now I feel like ever since like she started her group, with the dragon energy, I've been seeing dragons, like, and I just recently watched Raya and and the Last Dragon. It's a Disney movie, and I'm not sad about it. I love Disney movies, and they make me happy. So, have you seen it?
They should. No, I don't have any cable, so I don't have that. But yay, Crystal says she receives all the love. Yay, yay, yay! Amazing. I love Crystal. And I can't help but seeing purple around her when I think of Crystal. It's just purple. I mean, obviously she's got purple all over her website.
Yeah, it's that is her aura for sure.
Yeah, and that's a very high frequency. The violet light. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh
What's yours? Your favorite color? What are you drawn to most?
My favorite color is green. It always has been forever.
Mine too.
Like that's, of course, you're a Taurus, like me.
Yeah.
I have the Taurus slow energy, very slow and steady, very nurturing. Yeah, but violet and purple or lavender have been like always been like my second favorite color. Like my prom dress was lavender.
I had a lavender prom too.
Yeah, I actually still need to
my
watch
gosh,
it.
Wait, Crystal, I thought that would be like a given.
What? Oh, the movie.
You haven't seen The Last Dragon.
I watched
it's
the.
so colorful and visual and beautiful and sweet. Yeah, it's uplifting. You'll like it.
Where is it on? On what platform?
I watched it on Disney Plus.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I definitely don't have that. I watched the other one, the How to Train a Dragon.
Oh, I haven't seen that. Is it cute?
Oh, yeah, it's cute. It's okay. I don't know. I wasn't connected to the dragons because I hadn't met Crystal back then. Now I'm connected. So dragons appear to me all the time as well. So it's very nice. So interesting,
Was your favorite
right?
Disney The Little Mermaid though?
No, I think Snow White. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
and you know why?
I know you love mermaids, but
it makes sense because she's so connected with the animals and nature, right? So I think, now, like I never thought about it, but now thinking about it, it's like, yeah.
yeah.
So, Chris, what about you?
Oh, Little Mermaid, like, I mean, I can sing every song. That was, yeah. My mermaid love began with Splash and
Oh yeah,
Tom
that's
Hanks
an
and
old movie.
oh my gosh, I love that movie. I had a huge Daryl Hannah as a mermaid poster in my room that my mom got from a video store. Like she was like, when that's done, I need to, procure that for my daughter. And it was to this day the best present I've ever had in my life. I love that movie. Oh, yours was oh yeah. Crystal's was Little Mermaid too. Yeah. I mean, I actually like a lot of them, but I mean, there's just nothing can compare to Little Mermaid for me.
Well, if you're connected, yeah. I mean, when I was at the beach this past week, I started like singing light language, and then I like singing it like for the first time, and I was like, okay, I think I'm singing light language now. And then I actually felt like I was Ariel. Okay, don't laugh at me, all of you non-mermaid believers, but I felt like I was like singing to the ocean, and I was like, okay, I think I'm a mermaid, or I was, or something. And that's why I like posted like, I think I'm a mermaid, or I was, or something. But definitely have a connection, and I was like, okay, I need to make that appointment, that book Emily, because this is why this is just coming through.
You absolutely were, and there's definitely it's so silly to me that anyone would sort of doubt that, because any sort of those mythological elemental creatures come from somewhere. They come from the collective. That means they exist. So if there's, just as there are fairies, unicorns, like there are mermaids, there are water worlds, and I mean, even, and I could get really kooky and start talking about Atlantis and all that, but I 100% know that there are mermaids, and I even definitely saw one when I was young with my cousins. Like we all saw it when we were in Mexico in the Sea of Cortez.
Oh my gosh!
And I asked some of my older cousins about it the other day. I'm like, that happened, right? Like, is this my 8-year-old memory just getting a little carried away, or like, did we all see that? And they were all like, no, we saw that. Like, we absolutely saw that. That was real. And I was like,
oh my gosh, that's amazing. Well, like for me, I have been so indoctrinated into like, what's supposed to be real. for such a long time. And when all of these things started opening up for me, I'm like, what? Like, what's going on? Like, what do you mean that's real? And then when Andrea started talking about the fairies, I was like what? That's real too? Like, you know, and it just opens up the whole world of magic as to like, really, like all of these things are actually real, right? And it's just different, right? Like to be
Yeah.
open to that possibility and to be open to like, well, has it been proven wrong, right? Like, I mean, that's how the law does it, right? The law doesn't prove things to be. Law proves things. They have to be able to prove it beyond reasonable doubt that it doesn't exist, and they can't do that.
I mean, and it's pretty widely accepted that this is a multi-dimensional multiverse. So for anyone to say, oh, yes, there's many different dimensions, and then, but there's all of the dimensions are exactly like this one, like in terms of the physics and the realities, that's ridiculous. You can't say that with, I mean, saying that like as fact is more ridiculous than saying mermaids exist, that's for sure. You know, it's, to me, it's
Well,
the no.
but it's interesting, right? Because like if we were having this conversation on my regular Facebook group, like everybody would be like thinking like, okay, you know, Valeria just lost her marbles, and you know, sorry, you know, this COVID thing got to her or something. So like you're forgetting who we're talking to here, right? We're talking in this container where people are a little bit more open-minded. But yeah, coming out of here, you can't have these conversations with a
Well,
serious
right.
face.
I'm putting on my normal page with all my family. Although, like, I did probably be like, Emily's talking about mermaids in Egypt again. Like, I mean, I have since I was little, so they already think I'm weird. So.
But isn't it beautiful to be weird? Because that's your uniqueness, right? That's our own uniqueness, to be our own weird person. That's the beauty of us. That's our fingerprint,
Yes.
right? And we're not supposed to fit in this box of everybody follow the same cattle, you know, thing. Oh my goodness, my aunt just joined. Hola, tia. That's my aunt from Chile. Hola, hola, tia. I did not close the window. She did this to me last night. It's so funny.
That's so awesome.
I love you. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So and it's interesting too because she doesn't speak English, so but she's just absorbing all of the energy, which I love about her. She is so open, my aunt. She's so open to all of this that she's in my group, even though she doesn't understand English. But she just watches everything and absorbs everything.
That's so beautiful. I absolutely love that.
Yeah. And she's the reason that I started my Spanish group, because we were talking and she kept saying like, yeah, but you know, I don't understand what you're saying. Like, but I'm still watching your healing. I'm still watching it. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make a Spanish one.
That's so neat that you do that.
Yeah. So it's nice. It's nice to have that, to be able to open it up to, you know, so that more people can join in and get a little bit of this energy to grow, right? Like this frequency, this high frequency. Like just talking to you, like my energy has shifted. Don't you feel that?
Oh yeah, 100%. I feel like all electrified. I often do like when we're in the angel writing group too, and like when yeah, anytime like more than one person like that is kind of on this trek is together, I feel like it's very potent.
It certainly is. Yeah.
You're frozen on my end, but
yeah, you know what? I do see myself frozen on the screen, but I am not frozen. I can guarantee you I'm still talking.
Yes. That's not really what you're doing. You're not doing ventriloquism.
Oh, it's pretty fun. Okay, I'm back. Yay! You know, Frozen.
Yes.
I do like Frozen. That imaginary fictional person. I do like that. Frozen.
Oh, that movie? Yes,
Yeah.
that was very, very fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's wrap it up. It's been lovely.
Sounds great. I'm trying to think, did we say everything that we wanted? You're doing Dream Weaving School. I'm doing Sounds of Ascension container. Anyone is
That
welcome to
sounds so
join.
lovely.
Oh, thank you.
Sounds of Ascension. I mean, who wouldn't want that? Really, like seriously. Oof, it feels really, really good.
Thank
So
you.
well
I love
aligned. Yeah.
Weaver School too.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
just love like when we are with aligned with what we were supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love you, Emma, for watching this whole thing with us. You're the best. And
Yay.
if anyone is replay, please let us know. If anyone has any questions about anything later on, please let us know. Thank you for sharing our energy and time and love.
And remember, if you want a little sample healing from Emily, are you only doing that in Breathe to Succeed, or are you also posting it in your site?
I posted in Clear Vocal too, like after I just like copied the video in Clear Vocal. But yes, on Succeed. I've pretty much been doing it on like Wednesdays around 1, but it's been here and there. But once a week I go on there.
Yeah.
And I make
highly recommend you trying it.
Yeah, I've taught the heart, throat, and root so far.
Mm-hmm.
Just based intuitively on what I felt like sharing. I had just come from Sedona, which is like a giant red root chakra exercise. So I had to share that next, even though that's like one of the ones where I was like, hey, I can't be shy if I'm going to do the root, because it's like, kind of gnarly.
Oh my gosh. I went to Sedona. I have lots of pictures, the elephants, rock, and all that.
It's so magical there. I mean, the veil is thin in a lot of those spots. And then the vortices are everywhere. And I mean, if you are sensitive, it is impossible not to feel that earth magic. Wow.
Wow. So nice that you were able to go there. Feeling your energy, Emily. Feeling your energy. Yay!
Spirit fingers. I love it.
I love you.
Thank you so much for sharing your time with me, sweetheart. And I can't wait to see you tomorrow.
Okay. Bye. Bye,
Bye,
everybody. Thank you for being here.
Thank you all.